In part 1, Betty's versatile career was discussed as a pioneer of early TV, to becoming a beloved TV personality on game shows, and finally becoming an international sitcom star in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. In part 2, we'll be analysing further Betty's versatility that helped her stay both active in TV and stay present in the hearts of the viewers that enjoyed her. Hi, I'm Diva Talk. When The Mary Tyler Moore Show finished, rumours began that Betty's character Sue Ann Nivens would get her own spin-off. This was not an outrageous suggestion. The hit sitcom produced 3 spin-offs. However, much like Joey without his friends, I don't believe this could have worked. Sue Ann was dependent on the ensemble to shine. She needed the grounding of Mary or the banter of Murray to exist. Her devilish ways were like the desserts after a substantial main course, and without the other characters, Sue Ann's actions would have left us with a tummy ache. Nevertheless, Betty was offered her own show, The Betty White Show. The audience quickly dropped off when they realised Betty was not replaying Sue Ann, and the show was cancelled after about 15 episodes in '78.
So the audience was expecting Sue Ann Niven, and they got another whole completely different character. So we died a mourning. We didn't go.
3 years later, in 1981, Betty's beloved husband, Alan Ludden, died of stomach cancer, days before their 18th wedding anniversary. He was 63 years old.
People kind of hung up on each other. We had a crush on each other.
As Betty grieved the loss of her partner, she threw herself into her work, continuing to do what she's always done, used her versatility to stay present in TV. However, there were varying results. In 1983, now in her early 60s, Betty began hosting the game show Just Men. It was a convoluted premise that shied away from the simplicity of classic game shows like Password, a simplicity that made them so loved. The Washington Post gave a particularly brutal review, stating that the show was a litmus test for people who think the TV show that can make them physically sick hasn't been invented. Ouch. Betty's performance as a host, however, was heavily praised, receiving 2 consecutive Emmy nominations and winning in 1983, becoming the first woman in history to win the Emmy for Outstanding Game Show Host. A very unusual win for a show that lasted 60-odd episodes, however, it solidified Betty's reputation for going against gender norms. Betty was now in the winter of her career. Thankful for her multiple successes, she didn't envisage another hit series coming her way. And then came 1984. During NBC's promo event for their new season, Selma Diamond and Doris Robert were jokingly pitching the new series of Miami Vice. The humour was found in Diamond consistently calling the show Miami Nice.
To introduce a show that takes place in the most wonderful resort in the world, Miami. This is a show about sitting on the beach.
No, Selma, honey, no. This show is not called Miami Nice. This is called Miami Vice.
Doris, don't do this to me.
It's all right. Don't worry.
The banter between these older women inspired producers to tap into a demographic routinely ignored by primetime. Golden Girls was soon developed by legendary writer Susan Harris. The show centred on 4 older women sharing a home in Miami, based on Betty's runaway success as the neighbourhood nymphomaniac in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. The role of Blanche was offered to her, a character not too dissimilar to Sue Ann Nivens. Rue McClanahan was originally offered the role of Rose for similar reasons. She had played the ditzy but lovable woman on Mama's Family. The acerbic Sophia was played by Estelle Getty, who after working decades finally had a breakthrough at age 60 in the Broadway hit A Torch Song Trilogy. And the role of Dorothy was described as a B. Arthur type, based off of B's groundbreaking role as Maude. However, Bea was reluctant to enter the sitcom, and she had legitimate reasons. Betty and Rue were geared to effectively reprise their previous roles, as they were offered characters that mirrored the recent hit shows. Bea and a number of producers became increasingly concerned that this would hurt the show. Would the audience judge the Golden Girls on its own merit, or see it as an amateur patchwork of characters already successfully displayed in other hit series? Last minute, Betty was asked to read for Rose, and Rue for Blanche. On hearing this, Bea changed her mind and joined.
Then I hear from Susan Harris on the phone, "Will you please, Rue, do us a favor? Could you call B. Arthur?" So I called her. I said, "Why are you turning down the best script that's ever going to come across your desk as long as you live?" And she said, "Rue, I have no interest in playing Maude and Vivian meet Sue Ann Nivens." I said, "That's not the way we're doing it, Bea. I'm going to play the Sue Ann Nivens vamp, and Betty's going to play the Vivian role. And she said, now that's very interesting.
And one of the most iconic comedies of the 80s was born. In its first series alone, it won the Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series, the Golden Globe for Best TV Series Musical or Comedy, and Betty won the Emmy for Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. The triumphant quality about The Golden Girls is that it involved older women in comedy, but that didn't mean the comedy was always about them being older women. The humour was situational, their age often irrelevant. They were presented as fashionable, exuberant, youthful, leading active lives. They were the Sex and the City before Sex and the City, challenging the idea that women over a certain age were disposable. They cut through all demographics, from older women who finally felt like they had a voice, middle-aged viewers who were given hope for their future, children who loved the mischief of the show, and, due to its self-aware campness and willingness to tackle issues such as HIV and gay marriage, it earned a strong LGBT following. All 4 principal characters won an Emmy, and Betty would be nominated for 7 seasons. The charm in her performance was that although she was playing an archetypal ditzy role, she played it from a unique perspective.
Totally naive. She's not dumb, she's just totally naive. There's no sophistication about her at all.
The show continued until 1992, becoming one of only 4 live-action shows where all principal characters won an Emmy. So successful, they were invited to perform in front of the British royal family, entertaining the Queen Mum at the Royal Variety Show. Golden Girls tremendously enshrined Betty into pop culture, becoming her signature role and combating the ageist view that often shackled women to dull, muted characters when they reached a certain age, and as a result she became heavily celebrated. And it allowed Betty to move from playing a villain in the 70s to a lovable, naive persona in the 80s and 90s. Once again, her versatility strengthened her career. She was now part of 2 legendary sitcoms played in heavy syndication, elevated to a high level of continued visibility. When B. Arthur decided to leave the Golden Girls, the 3 remaining actresses attempted to keep the laughs going in The Golden Palace. Here the ladies bought a hotel in a sort of Fawlty Towers hijinks. However, without Dorothy as the anchor to the realism of her housemates' farcical actions, the humour fell flat and the show was cancelled after 1 season. Now in her 70s, Betty had no interest in retirement, and for the next 20 years or so, she would continue to guest act in everything from Boston Legal to The Simpsons. However, the opportunity for substantial parts became increasingly difficult as she got older, and although Betty never stopped working, her visibility on TV reduced. But this rapidly began to change around 2006. Betty, under new management for the first time in decades, started taking risks. She attended the William Shatner roast and she blew everyone away. The duality of her sweet, innocent demeanour and her racy, adult humour helped create the next persona of Betty White, the naughty grandmother. And this is where things started to really change for White. Her appearance led to more opportunities to explore this new image. She was included in the 2009 smash hit film The Proposal, which earned over $300 million. She starred in the Super Bowl Snickers commercial that went viral.
Mike, come on! You're playing like Betty White out there. That's not what your girlfriend said.
Which in turn led to a Facebook campaign for Betty to host SNL, which she did at age 88, the oldest person in history to host the show. The appearance was acclaimed, and Betty won the Emmy for Outstanding Guest Appearance on a Comedy Show, 60 years after her first primetime nomination. This opened her up to a whole new audience, many who were not even alive when Golden Girls aired. Also in 2010, the Screen Actors Guild gave her the Lifetime Achievement Award. She began working on a new sitcom hot in Cleveland and was included in the list of the most fascinating people of the year alongside J-Lo and Justin Bieber. In triumphantly achieving a comeback, Betty went from a celebrated sitcom actress to a pop culture icon. Her wit, energy and charisma was in direct opposition with her age, and the public adored her for this. And in an era of youth-obsessed social media, Betty was a welcome antidote, an alternative to the fear of growing older. She embraced it. In her 90s, Betty continued to work on the sitcom Hot in Cleveland. Now, if I'm being honest, it wasn't the best written TV show. However, hers and Wendy Malick's performances elevated the script, and Betty won 2 Screen Actor Guilds for the show. It was really her stillness and humour that made Hot in Cleveland work, because we were waiting for what she was going to say during the madness. It wasn't just her acting, it was her reactions that were done with great humour and a lovely sense of timing and care. And it helped maintain Betty's impact on the zeitgeist. Simultaneously, she hosted the prank show Betty White Off the Rockers, earning 3 Emmy nominations, and won a Grammy for her best spoken word recording of her best-selling memoir, And she had a recurring role in Bones. Now let me repeat this. This woman was in her 90s. Years of ad-libbing on live TV also made her a popular guest on talk shows because she was consistently funny. And she was non-controversial, often avoiding politics and providing an escape to the 24/7 scandal-heavy news channel mentality that began saturating every form of media. Betty was a unifier. Her fans included the old church lady, the drag queen, the awkward millennial. Just like the Golden Girls, she cut through demographics, entering the sort of Mount Rushmore of celebrity, becoming an unproblematic icon like Dolly Parton, who united groups together in a growing, ununited America. As politics became increasingly bitter, reality TV became increasingly fake, and our lives became increasingly fixed on social media and filters. White acted as a remedy and a cure to the 21st century as she approached her own second century on Earth. And for this reason, and so many others, I salute you, Betty White, as a force of entertainment, authenticity, and good old-fashioned talent. I'm Diva Talk, and thanks for watching.